Kitchari is amazing. It's so simple. It's basically just rice and lentils cooked together in a pan. You get a nice pan and get your rice, okay? And, you know, proportions, maybe 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 is fine. Wash the rice, you know, as well as you can because it's kind of dusty. We wash it a couple of times normally, but it's okay. This is mung lentils. Anyone heard of that? Mung. It's a yellow, beautiful bean. It comes from a green bean originally. It's been split and the skin taken off, so it becomes yellow. So you put about 2 to 1 of the lentils in there, and you got, that's basically your kitchari, what it is, and you got to put some water in and turn the heat on, get it cooking. Now you'll notice I'm not putting anything in it. It's just rice and lentils. It's very plain at the moment. Now some people do things where they like fry things like leeks and onions or whatever, or garlic and spices. But what we're going to do today is going to do the other way around. We're going to put the spices on after and the flavorings, and you'll notice it's completely different. Completely different. And it's a sort of interesting one because you kind of get the texture of the spices more and the bits, whatever you're putting in, you get more texture. And we're going to make it a special mixture which is called a masala. It just means a mixture, like a paste of different, you know, spices and oil and, you know, whatever you fancy putting in it. And we're going to make a special one for this kitchari. So that's already 2 dishes we're making, and that's going to make it into something quite fancy. So your kitchari, by the way, is, you know, bubbling away. You could turn it down at this point. It doesn't need to really boil. Maybe simmer. Get it simmering, you know. And you don't really need to put a lid on generally, and you don't stir it. You know that, right? You don't stir rice. So, yeah, you can add some salt at this point, okay? Just add some salt, so it's at least salty. Not too much.
What kind of salt is that?
It's rock salt. Don't use sea salt because it's got plastic in it. It's full of plastic. You know that? Sea salt's full of plastic, yeah. Think about it. Sea, plastic, goes through a factory, grind it up, salt and plastic. It's horrible. That's the truth. I use rock salt from the mountains, you know, Himalayas. Yeah. Now, salt is one of the tastes. It's one of the 6 tastes. And what does it do? It builds your body, gives you more tissue. It heats the body, so it's warming. It's very grounding, so it's good for vata, because it's warming. So the vata, the airy one, needs a bit of grounding. So kitchari, by the way, can be very kind of like saucy and runny and like porridge. Or it can be like a sort of risotto, or it can be like a paella, or no, like biryani, you know, like the Indian. It can be like fluffy and light. And the way to make it really fluffy and light is after you've cooked it like this, right? And you see there's hardly any water in there. You just grab a lid, you put some spices on, maybe like grab some spices, sprinkle them on, put the lid on, and stick it in a really hot oven for 15 minutes, and that will like drive off more moisture, and you get this fluffy light kitchari, which is the one I like. See, here's a kind of rice, which is a very nice rice, which is a mixture of brown and wild rice. You know, wild kind of stuff they use in Thailand a lot. But it takes a lot longer to cook, and it's very hard to digest. It's, you know, it really takes a bit of energy. It's more for a very young person. Because, you know, your digestive fire gets weaker as you age. You know that, don't you? It gets weaker and weaker and weaker. It's horrible. Whatever you don't digest in your body is going to turn into something else. And you know what it's going to turn into? Toxins, thank you. It's going to turn into toxins. What are toxins? Toxins is basically like food that's not digested properly. It's partially digested. It's gunk. It's hanging around. It's not wanted. It's, you know, and obviously there are other toxins like plastic and salt and, you know, pesticides on pesticide-ridden food. You know, there's all sorts of toxins. There's stuff we're breathing, chemtrails, mercury, you know, it's all coming in. So we're trying to deal with all that. So we're trying to reduce that as much as possible. But what we're really trying to do is to power up the digestive machine so that it efficiently handles everything we give it, you know, without abusing your digestion. Don't eat, you know, pizzas at 12 o'clock at night, because that's abusing it, and it's going to be hard to digest that all night. You see what I'm saying? So you use different things. So that's not the rice we're using. We're using the basmati rice. Who asked that? You asked it? Yeah. Basmati rice we're using, which is, you know, a good unwashed white rice, California, India, different places. So to make the kitchari very delicious, I like to make this masala. I want to show you how to make this masala. So you melt some ghee or oil in this frying pan like this, and you start adding things. Ginger is a great taste to have in your kitchari. And if you were cleansing, you could actually just have ginger in there. Just a bit of ginger would help. And fry it in the pan. It'll turn a bit crispy, which is nice. Because remember that it's taste and effects, but also texture. It's important in cooking, right? So yeah, another thing I like to add to this masala is leek. Now, one thing you'll notice about Ayurveda is they don't like onions. And they don't like garlic. They're not into garlic and onions. Isn't that interesting? Physiologically, the reason is that onions and garlic are very heating. Also, tomatoes are as well. They're all heating. And they're exciting. They excite the system. Some people don't need more heat because they've got heat problems in their body. You know, because if you heat your liver, let's say you're an angry person, your liver gets hot. Because anger and liver, they go together. Yes, it's all the organ of anger. And alcohol will heat up the liver and do other things as well, terrible things. Hot spices, onions, garlic will heat up the liver, and that will heat up the blood because the liver cleanses your blood. So imagine your blood is flowing through your liver and it's all hot. Your blood gets hot and then it starts feeding all the other organs, including your brain. You're on fire inside. That's one of the reasons they don't use them all the time like that. Oh, you can add some of this cumin, nice cumin seed. So pumpkin seeds, does anyone like these? Pumpkin seeds goes into the masala to get you crunch. So sprinkle all those in. This is going to go on top of the kitchari, remember? And you know, just keep stirring until these kind of swell up and go brown. This is my own spice mix, which I use for the different doshas. So this one is for Vata, the airy type. So everyone needs this because everyone gets Vata imbalance a bit. It's not hot. I'll tell you what it is. It's cumin, coriander, fennel, turmeric, ginger, basil, asafoetida, and salt. And sometimes a bit of sugar, like a date sugar, because Vata's like sweet. So we put that in with the spices there. And then I'll add one of my favorite ingredients, which is lemon. Sour, okay? This is sour. So that's another taste. You could just put that straight in. You get a few seeds, but don't worry. So you've got lemon in there. So this is interesting because you see this masala right here, this masala, it's probably got all of the 6 tastes in and it's crunchy. So it's got 7 tastes in. You see what I'm saying? So you're already balancing yourself, because one of the truths of Ayurveda is that the 6 tastes will actually balance and nourish the 7 tissues in your body. So you want to try to make sure you're getting the 6 tastes in every meal. If you're a Vata, you try to get more sweet, sour and salty. So salt, lemons, and rice, and butter, those are all those 3 tastes. If you're Pitta, you try to get more bitter, sweet and astringent. So greens, nice herbs, like these herbs here. So you want to be having these bitter herbs, like here's dill, right? So we get that, some dill, and chop your dill and put it into the masala, like that, you see? Maybe that was some dill, chopped dill, and here's some cilantro, No. I'm not sure. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, it's either parsley or cilantro. I think it's. Yeah. So, well, cilantro is a good one, but cilantro or parsley, you can put that in. So this, remember, this is all going on top of your kitchari. So this is a masala here. What else could you add to this to make it nice? You could add some coconut amino acids or some tamari. Just put that on. So sprinkle some lemon in like this. Or squeeze it in over the kitchari. Lemon is a very interesting fruit because it becomes sweet in the body. It's sour, but it becomes sweet inside your body. So that means it's very good for the fiery pitta types. So put some lemon in, give your masala a stir, and then put it onto the kitchari. Okay, so you see, you put these masala on top there.
So the condiments spice that Brannigan put because
If you want to add extra herbs, why not? Add some chives maybe. Chives are a nice strong flavor. Chives, are warming. They're very warming. So should we serve the kitchari to everyone? Yeah, why not? So that's your kitchari. I'll put some turmeric on there as well, because then everything will go yellowy and that'll be nice. Pretty easy to make, it's not much to it.